Bella. I'm Christina with Bella and Chinetto, and if you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. Uh, this is gonna be a haul video, but from a couple of months ago. So I'm gonna take everything that I got when I was in England, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. Now, if you've watched my summer streaming series, you will probably have seen most of this. Um, but I'm also going to show you not only like yarn and things that I got, I might show you some other little trinkets as well. Because I went to the UK for 3 glorious weeks this summer to house sit, to pet sit. My daughter does pet sitting jobs, right? Here in the area where we live. But there are also friends of mine who live in other close by countries who know that my daughter does pet sitting. And she comes really highly recommended because when I tell you she puts her all into those animals, like with her whole heart, okay? And I don't have to do much with them. She does it for the most part. I do have to remind her now and again because, I mean, she's a kid, right? But she loves them and snuggles them and makes sure that they have what they need. She plays with them. So, we have been to the UK a couple of times to do this house sitting slash pet sitting. And we've already been invited back for next year because they think that she does just that much of a phenomenal job, right? So I don't know that we'll be going back, but fingers crossed we can make it work, right? Um, but while I was there, we got to do some amazing things, and not all of it, most of it even, wasn't even crafty related. And through the time that we were there, I did have some of my summer streaming lives because during the school year, right, it's really, really hard for me to make the time to do a live. I have so many other things going on. The only time that I could do a live would be on the weekends, and I really only have one day to myself on the weekends because Sundays are the days that I do all of my meal prep, all of my laundry, all of my stuff to prepare for the next week for the house, right? I try to do everything for the week before I leave school. That rarely happens. So if there's anything that I have to do for work, that gets done on Sunday too. So my Sundays are jam packed with thing after thing after thing after thing. And if I can throw in some recording, I do it then. Sometimes I do my recordings on Saturdays. Sometimes I have to do them in the middle of the week if I can't get them done. But lives would be done on a Saturday or a Friday night. And that's the only day that I really have to myself, number one. And number two, I know that these yarny YouTube streets are jam packed full of lives on the weekends. And, you know, I don't make any money off this channel. And with the way that they're changing the YouTube rules soon to increase the number of watch hours that you're required to get if you're not already monetized, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to get into like all the nitty gritty, but they're raising it to something crazy like 8,000 watch hours within a year, within a 365-day period. And I'm lucky if I get 30 people watching my video on a regular basis. I know that I have more subscribers than that, right? But on a regular basis, I'm hitting maybe 30 views. So there's no way I'm getting 3,000 watch hours, much less 8,000 watch hours. Um, so if I really wanted to do the monetization thing, I could push it. But it's not something that I'm super invested in, right? I like hanging out with you all. I like sharing my yarny craft. I like having a small channel because the people that are here are invested in me, are invested in what I'm doing, genuinely care about what's going on, and it's a nice community. I would love to welcome more people in, but this isn't my job. It's never going to be my full-time job unless, well, maybe in like another 20 years when I can retire. Maybe. But even then, like it's not something that I do to make money. It's something that I do because I enjoy it, right? So, uh you may have seen some of these things, you may not have seen some of these things. Regardless, if you want to grab a project, something to drink, you want to start doing some chores around the house and have me go in and pop your head in and look at every once in a while I'm showing you some stuff, that would be great. Okay. I do have some other haul videos that I'm going to be doing, because after we came home from the UK, we were home like 48 hours, like a turn and burn. Had to go to the States to help my son. Um, and it was rocking and rolling from like day 3 or 4 that we were there until almost the end, where we were moving things, organizing things, separating things, cleaning things. So I did get to do a little bit in the US as well. And I'm going to break those into kind of smaller videos just because if I did everything, it would be super long. And I don't want to um, do that long of a video because it would just be really long. So I think I'm going to separate those things out. Okay, so in the UK, I don't drive because they drive on the other side of the road. I'm not going to say the wrong side of the road because it's what they know, right? And I know what I know. So, but I am not a meek person, okay? I have lots of courage, but when it comes to getting behind the wheel of that car, putting myself on the road, I am scared, okay? Not only because I don't know what I'm doing, I know that my instincts for over 40 years, right? Because I've been driving for a long time, probably before I should have been, okay? And I got my hardship license when I was 14. My mom had surgery and she needed a ride to work. My stepdad was an over the road truck driver and I was the only one home. My mom had to get to work. I had to drive her to work, which meant I had to take her to work, then go to school, then go pick her back up from work after I got out of school and drive home, right? And that was at 14. But I was driving before that because we lived in the country. So I'm going to be like, get in the car and go down to the store and get some milk or whatever. Yeah, okay. But I have been driving on the right side of the road, like not the correct side, but the literal my right hand, right side of the road for a long, long time. So to put myself on the left side of the road was a little bit wild for me. So, like I said, I don't drive. So, public transport, Uber if I absolutely have to. And not that it's crazy expensive. I mean, it is more expensive than driving your own car. But if I can't get there by train or bus, then I'll take an Uber. Um, Taxis are such a varying rate, and Uber is that's the rate you're going to pay. They don't go up, they don't go down. They quote you that rate, and that's the rate that you pay. That's it, right? So I like doing it that way because I know exactly what I'm going to pay. When I get in a taxi and that meter starts running, I have no idea where it's going to end up, right? They can tell me, oh, it's about this price. If we have to sit in traffic, that meter's running longer. If there's construction and we have to go around it, that meter's running longer, right? We can sit in traffic for over an hour in an Uber. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen, but I'm still going to pay the same price that they quoted me. Doesn't matter, right? So that's one of the reasons why I would do that over a taxi. Anyway, none of that is the point of this video. But I'm limited to where I can go, right? So, all that being said, a lot of this stuff was purchased when I was with Sam over at Mampa's Makes because she blessed us with her presence and came all the way from her house to where we were staying, which was a bit of a drive for her. Okay, I'm very, very proud of her for that. I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. I am literally very, very proud of her for doing that. It's way out of her comfort zone. It's a big deal for her. And I was constantly telling her, like, I am super proud of you, right? Because you stepped outside of your comfort zone and did something that scared the crap out of you. And I would do that getting in a car in England if I wasn't afraid that I was going to get hurt. Like I said, instincts and all. I'll turn the other direction. People say it's easier when you're following the flow of traffic. I don't know that for sure. Maybe one day I'll be brave enough to try. Don't know. Anyway, so one of the things that we did when Sam was there was we went to a zoo for my daughter. And she got a couple of things. It is so hot in here, you guys. It's like over 100 degrees outside. And this is like the coolest it's going to be all week. So sorry. I'm very hot. Not to mention the internal heat that's happening with all of the hot flashes. I don't know if you can see. I'm sticky. So we did that. And then that was my daughter's birthday present. So she got a couple of little things. And then Sam surprised me. I thought we were just going to go like yarn shopping and like maybe she had researched a couple of yarn shops and we were going to go do some stuff. But no. She surprised me and took me to one of my bucket list places for my whole life. She did that when I went to visit her when she took me to Tintagel. And I never, ever, ever expected her to do that, number one. No, and I never expected her to do this either. Like, this was just, like, I was trying so hard the entire time that I was there not to cry. I don't know if she ever realized it, but I, like, was, like, holding back tears. I was so happy. Like, oh my goodness. I'm not a crier, okay? But I was so overjoyed when I realized where we were that I was like, she did it again, right? So she took me to Stratford-upon-Avon. This is my bag. I'm trying to see what I can grab. And we got to go to Shakespeare's, like, life, pretty much. Okay, we get this and this. And I didn't grab everything because it's, sorry, there's yarn in here and I'm trying to like, what's this place? I didn't organize this before I did this, you guys. I'm sorry. What's this? No. That's not it. That's not it. That's something else. I need that. That goes over here. Sorry, you guys. Okay. There's another bag in here. I am very much a trinkety kind of person. And especially because I knew that I wasn't going to be, like, the places that I went, I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get the chance to go here again, especially Stratford-upon-Avon, right? So I was like, let me get some things, because I don't know, like I said, if I'm ever going to be able to come back. And I wanted to make sure that I had the opportunity to get the things that, no matter what I'm doing in my home, I have a memory of being in this place. Okay? One of those things, right, is magnets. Right? So this is from Hamlet. This above all, to thine own self be true. And so I collect magnets growing up, and still, even today, these are one of the cheaper things that you can buy when you go on holiday. Now, there are some fancy magnets that I've seen, but a lot of times they're not going to cost you more than $5 or €5 or £5 or whatever it may be, right? So I get a lot of magnets. My fridge in my kitchen is jam-packed full of magnets. And I have a teeny tiny fridge that was so generously gifted to me that's in my living room. And I have like beverages and things in there. But I'm even putting magnets there because I'm running out of room on my fridge. So I have this magnet. I have this Christmas ornament. Right? William Shakespeare. Back. Right? So I have that. This will be on my Christmas tree. I wish that it was like a ceramic so I could put the date. Like, I don't want to write the year that I went on this because it'll bleed. But if it was ceramic, I would definitely write the date on there. Okay. I also got some other Christmas ornaments. These are it, I believe. Yeah. So there was like a Christmas shop. One of the things that we had talked about is there was a Harry Potter shop. There was another shop that she wanted to go to. And then some of these. I don't remember the other one. Sam, chime in if you can think of it. Okay. So sadly, was trying to plan a trip to Scotland while we were in the UK. So I got this. We didn't end up going to Scotland for 2026. But I know that I can clean this 6 off and put a 7 on there if we go next year. Or if we go in 2028, I can just put another loop on there. So we did not go to Scotland in 2026. But I can fix this if I need to. Because I do plan to get to Scotland. Just didn't happen this year. Okay. And then I got this Stratford-upon-Avon. And you see how it's written on here? That's what I wish I could do to this ornament. But because it's fabric, it would just bleed. It wouldn't do this. And the reason that I know how to like change this is because when I first moved here, I went to a town called Taormina, and I bought a pizza cutter. And on that pizza cutter, it said Taormina. And I thought it was hand painted on there. It was not. It was written in Sharpie. And when I put the pizza cutter in the sink and went to wash it, that washed right off. So I know how to fix that. But So I know how to change that. Lesson I learned. And then this one, it's another Christmas ornament, right? The little Shakespeare scroll. Okay. I couldn't help myself. Maybe this was the other shop that we were going to go into, the Christmas store. I don't know. There was also a Beatrix Potter store there for Peter Rabbit. We didn't go in there. I like Peter Rabbit, but not as much as I like Shakespeare. Okay. I will be right back. Hold, please. Okay, we're back. All right, let me pick this up off the ground. Put it over here. Okay, so also while we were in Stratford upon Avon, we walked around. We didn't get anything in the Harry Potter shop. Sadness. But there was some cool stuff in there. It just looked very, very commercialized. None of it looked like one-of-a-kind things that we couldn't order online or get somewhere else. Does that make sense? But we went to Shakespeare's birthplace, like the house where he lived. We went to the area where him and his wife lived after, so it's called the new place. But the house itself doesn't exist anymore. It's like a garden area. So we went there. We couldn't see all of it because it was really, really hot. And part of the area where it has like quotes from all of the plays and the sonnets and all of that, it's all like metal sculptures. And they said it was too hot. Like even if you brushed up against it, you would burn yourself. So they wouldn't let anybody in there. You could walk up to it and like look through the gate. And I did. And it looked really cool. But we couldn't go in everything, which was fine. And then there were a couple of things that we skipped because I really, really, really wanted to go to the schoolhouse, which we did. And then we also went to Anne Hathaway's cottage, which that was Shakespeare's wife. And it was her house before, or like her family home, which was a little further away. And we did that kind of at the end. And bless Sam's heart, she took every single step with me, even though she was probably more miserable this time than she was when we were in Bath. Because it was so hot for her. Like, I was even hot, like, don't get me wrong, but the temperature for her was more than she dealt with probably in a really long time. And for me, I was like, yeah, it's hot, but like I was telling you how hot it is right here now, like today, and it's gonna get even hotter the rest of the week. I think we're gonna reach like 111 or 113 at some point, and that's like the actual temperature, not like what it feels like. It's gonna feel like a lot hotter than that. So yay! Fall needs to come soon. But anyway, so I picked up a little few trinkets here and there. And when we were in the schoolhouse, you guys, I love this thing so much. I bought this. It ended up being the last one. This was the one that was on display. She tried to see if there were other ones, but there weren't. This is a pencil case, but I thought it would make a really good notions pouch. Like, this is cool. This is so cool, right? And it's real leather. It's got a rose on the back of it, right? The sonnet. And roses show up in a lot of other ways in Shakespeare, lots of other imagery, but there is specifically the sonnet, right? And then there are a lot of his plays as, like, you know, the spines of their books there. And this was an absolutely amazing gift to myself. Like, again, the joy that I felt being there. I can't tell you. I was over the moon. I was over the moon, right? Um, and then also while we were at the schoolhouse, I picked up uh, this book. And I will do like a proper book look on it. But I thought that it would be worth showing. Again, I did show it in my live and had a little look-see. But we will do a proper like book look, label my library situation later on. And I almost wasn't going to get this book because Sam was like, you can buy it on Amazon or whatever. I was like, yeah, but I get to say that I bought it in Shakespeare's Schoolhouse. Like that, more than buying it on Amazon, being able to say that that's where I bought this book is like one of those lifetime memories for me, right? Because for as long as I can remember, reading has been so important in my life, for a multitude of reasons, right? Some probably a little traumatic, some full of joy, of course, education, right? But it has been such a wonderful experience for me with literature for the most part that Shakespeare was a big part of that. And in finding Shakespeare, I was able to learn more about plays and various other playwrights and explore through that. So this really was a stepping stone for me into the world of theater and understanding that not only from my own personal perspective, but how to teach it, right? How to teach it to high school kids who couldn't care less. Okay? How do you get them to care? How do you get them to want to do it? How do you get them to want to know what happens next? Right? And reading Shakespeare on my own started that for me. Right? So it's a very important thing for me to have it. I think it means more to say that I was able to buy it in Shakespeare's Schoolhouse for me, right? And again, you can absolutely buy this book on Amazon, right? There's not, you could buy it at, I could probably order it through Books A Million or Barnes and Noble or other bookstores that they have in any other place, right? But it means more to me because of where I purchased it. But it does have some of the plays in here. I can just show you. So there are the plays in here, right? And there are 15 projects in the book total, right? So, like I said, this was super thrilling to me to have this. And we will do a proper look-see at some point, okay? Um, what do I want to show you next? Okay, my daughter and I, outside of exploring with Sam, right, we explored a couple of other places on our own. One of those places being Cambridge, because getting on the train and going to Cambridge was super duper cheap. Um, when I was, well, before school ended last year, someone that I worked with who had lived in the UK for quite a while was like, you need to buy a rail card. Because she was asking me, well, did you have a rail card last summer? And I was like, no, I didn't have a rail card. Like, I'm not going to be there long enough. She's like, girl, get yourself a rail card. It's worth it. So I got one this year. And yes, it wasn't super expensive. I think it was like £40 because I got a family and friends rail card. And with the family and friends rail card, you can put up to 4 people on the card. But for every kid, you have to have an adult. So a kid can't ride using that rail card by themselves. There has to be an adult with them. So I put myself and my daughter on the rail card, And with that rail card and the discount that you get, we got round trip to Cambridge for like £12. I think part of it was the time that we chose to go, right? But I was like, you're kidding me. That's wild, right? So we went so many more places because it was cheaper. That was another reason why I wanted to try to get up to Scotland, because honestly, guys, I love to travel by train. I don't have to drive. I don't like driving in general. Um, I like road trips, but I don't want to be the one to drive, right? I can pick the music, I can do the navigation, I can put gas in your car, I will buy the snacks. You just have to drive. I don't want to, right? So, um, I I really really enjoy traveling by train, and from where I was to Scotland, I think it was like not quite 6 hours, right around that mark. Um, Either to Edinburgh or Glasgow, it didn't matter, either city in either direction. I would have had to change trains once, I think, but regardless, it wasn't a crazy amount of time. Um, it would have been like ridiculous to do it in a day, but to take a couple of days to go up there would have been cool. But we did go see the city of Cambridge. Um, Unfortunately for us, the day that we went, I think that was like graduation day, because the streets were packed with people, and so many kids had their like graduation gowns on, and they were carrying around flowers, and I was like, okay, note to self, don't come back at this time. Okay. But one of the things that we did is we went to the botanical gardens. So I have another puzzle. um I am super excited to do this puzzle. I don't know if I'll do it with you all or not. We'll see, right? I may start filming it, and then I still have one puzzle that um I've never finished, and it's from when we were in Austria, I think, or Germany. Germany. So when we were in Germany. Uh it's still sitting over there. I've never finished it. Um I just all the like solid color, I got overwhelmed, and never went back to it. It's still sitting over there. It's perfectly fine. It's ready to go. I just haven't done it. But I got this puzzle. It was really nice. Um, and the botanical gardens in Cambridge were absolutely wonderful. Like when I tell you, they really were wonderful. Okay, I had an amazing time there. They had what they called a scent garden, which a lot of it was herbs and things like that, very potent flowers. And as we were walking by, I, I, I was like, oh, that's um, lemon thyme, that's chocolate mint, that's what I like. And just by walking, I have a very, very sensitive nose, which can be a good thing, but it also can be very annoying because I get overwhelmed by smells a lot. Uh, But as we were walking, my daughter was like, Mom, how do you know all of that? Like, how do you just like you're walking by and you're like, oh, that's this? And she looks down and that's exactly what it is. And I was like, well, one, again, my nose is very sensitive. Two, my grandfather taught me so much about plants. That's another one of my happy places, right? Is being in and among plants, putting my fingers in the soil, helping things grow, nurturing them back to health, right? All of those things. And safe to say, most of my plants made it through the summer this time. I was very, very happy about that. Some of them were annuals and they were going to die at some point. And when it got to like 120 degrees while I was gone, Fahrenheit, not Celsius. When it got to 120 degrees Fahrenheit while I was gone, I knew some of them were just going to, even being watered twice a day, they were going to not make it. And that's okay, right? Um, I put a lot of effort into my plants. So if all of them would have died again, I would have been very upset. So we got the Botanical Gardens. I got the Botanical Gardens puzzle. I did get some magnets. I don't know if they're in here. Let me see. I've got so many things, you guys. I'm just gonna dump the bags out. Nope, what is that? Come on. And again, my daughter has some things, so... Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'll be right back. Okay, alright, sorry. I realized that I had forgotten something, and I wanted to go back and get it, and then... Yeah, it took a minute. So, okay, where were we? Oh, I talked to you about the puzzle. And then, while we were walking around Cambridge, we saw... Or, well, before we went to Cambridge, I had looked up a couple of other museums and things because, as I've said, my daughter loves animals. So we went, there was a museum of zoology. We went there. We went to the natural history, like earth sciences museum. And some of them were a little bit smaller than what they look like online. Okay, you guys, I have to put my hair up. I'm super hot. I'm so sorry. So hot. I thought I could make it, but like I've also been going up and down the stairs because I've been forgetting things. So, okay. Ugh. Okay. Very hot. Okay. So, I got this keychain because I thought it was very cute. I got this magnet, right? This is one of the museums that we went to. This is from the Museum of Zoology. It's 4 butterflies. This is from the Botanical Gardens. No. Where did I get this? Yes, this is from the Botanical Gardens. And then this is from the Botanical Gardens. This is a map of the Botanical Gardens. Okay. Then I had told my daughter, like, we're doing all of this stuff for you, right? There are a couple things that I want to do. So, we're going to do the things that you want to do. We're also going to do the things that I want to do. Now, I did find... I know I took some pictures of it. I did find a yarn shop in Cambridge, and we did go in. However, all of that yarn is gone. It's all gone. Because I bought mainly cotton, and I used it for my Smile Club information. My Smile Club projects. So Khadijah over at Ladybird Loves does a lot of helping other people, right? And she does it through this thing called Smile Club. She used to do more like Smile Club-esque stuff, but she did a little bit it's a little bit less now. So we have done some while we were so this is at the Botanical Gardens. My daughter always finds something to have crawl all over her. It doesn't matter. Everywhere we go, something crawls all over her. Okay, so this was part of the scent garden. This was just a part of it. Right? It was absolutely stunning. I mean, it was like a whole like path you could walk along. Trying to find the yarn shop. There's the museum. our lunch. Here we go. Okay, so this was called Sew Knit Craft. This was the yarn shop that I went to in Cambridge. Okay. It wasn't super big, right? Which was fine. This was part of the yarn, right? Go away. This was part of the yarn, right? It wasn't anything where I was like, okay, I really, really need to have some of this. I did, like I said, I did buy cotton. I absolutely did. But I made washcloths and burp rags, and before I even left the UK, I put it in the mail. It was gone. I don't have it anymore. It's all gone. So I don't have that yarn to show you. I would love to show you. Oh, well, here. I can show you a little bit of it because this is what I bought. I did take a picture. Look at me. So this is what I bought when I was in Cambridge. This is, I love this Rico Rumi Spin Spun, or Spin Spin maybe. And then this is James C. Brett Cotton Waves. I made things out of all of that and sent it on. It was all gone. Not for me. Also, while we were in Cambridge, I was like, this is a university town, right? So we're going to go to some bookstores. And while my daughter is getting more into reading, none of these bookstores were anything that she wanted, except for one. We did find some of the things that she was absolutely in love with. But one of the stores that we went to was called Bodies in the Bookshop. It is a very niche bookstore where all of them are mysteries, murder mysteries. They're all just that genre. That's the whole bookstore. Every book in the store, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, it's a mystery murder situation happening, right? So, my daughter did manage to find a graphic novel in there. It was kids' graphic novel, and that was that was fun, right? Um, I want to show you this picture because I just thought it was really cool as we were walking around. This was in Cambridge, right? And then we went to the Cambridge University Press bookstore, and it is, let's see, I took a picture of it. It says, this is the oldest bookshop site in Britain, selling books from the world's oldest publisher. So the Cambridge University Press has not always been in that location, but that location, there's been a bookstore that's the oldest bookstore location in all of Britain. So they say. And I had to buy, this is what I realized I was missing. I didn't have my 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 bag. So I bought, I'm not going to show you all the books that I bought because I do have some mystery books upstairs. I didn't grab them. But I bought Magic of the Middle Ages from the Cambridge University Press and one other book. I think I left it upstairs. But I bought two books. It was a Jane Austen book. It was a Jane Austen book. It's upstairs. I know it's upstairs. It was a signed copy. I'll take a picture of it and put it in my posts if anyone's interested. And then these two books have nothing to do with Cambridge, but I did buy them. They were in the bag which is why I also wanted to go get it. I bought these when I was in Stratford-upon-Avon. So this I bought at the Anne Hathaway Cottage. This is the book Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This is fiction, okay? So this is Shakespeare marrying a woman named Agnes, which did not happen, okay? Um, so it says Hamnet is a novel inspired by the son of a famous playwright, a boy whose life has been all but forgotten, but whose name was given to one of the most celebrated plays ever written. Okay? So Hamnet was Shakespeare's son. Okay? He was a real person that lived. But his life is not exactly the life that happens in the story, but his life inspired this story. Okay? There's been a movie out. I watched this movie on the plane. I've read this on my Kindle, but I got to buy a copy of it in Stratford-upon-Avon. And like I was saying about the crochet book, that means almost as much to me as having the book, right? Then I got this book, Death by Shakespeare. It's all the death that happens in Shakespeare. Why not, right? So I got that. I also, when I was at the Cambridge University Press bookstore, I got a music book for my son. I got this bag when I got this magnet and a couple of other trinkets for my son. So that's why I had to go upstairs, because I had to show you these things. Okay? Oh, yes. This is the zoo magnet that we got when we were with Sam. Okay. What else can I show you? Sorry, it's kind of higgledy-piggledy. Okay. There is yarn coming, I promise. We're 47 minutes in. This is why when I do the America stuff, I don't want to do it all at once. Okay, so the next thing that we did, my daughter and I, Sam was not with us, sadly. I wish she could have been with us, but she was not. We went to a cat cafe in a town called Norwich. Not Norwich. It looks like Norwich, but they do not say that. They say Norwich. And it was a little bit bittersweet because my daughter still doesn't have her little menace back. At this point, I don't know if we will get him back. We keep hoping that he will come back. Oh, but we did not. Okay, so I also got these. Last thing about Shakespeare, I promise. These are yard displays. You can hang them in your window. This is a quote by Oberon, and this is a quote by Titania, both from A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a play that I taught a lot when I taught high school. We also did something called the Shakespeare Scene Festival, where we would kind of change up parts of the Shakespeare plays or put them together in different ways. And my students, we went every year. We were published in the paper multiple times for our happenings and the ways that we did things. But these were very special to me because I've taught the play multiple times. I have a lot of great memories with my students, so I got these as well. Okay. At the Cat Cafe, we did 90 minutes, and you got to go in and play with and love all over the cats. However, again, it was super hot. There's no air conditioning. A lot of the kitties just wanted to sit down. But there was one cat. Is he in here? Yes, he is. This beautiful Maine Coon right here. Oh, absolutely fabulous cat. He played with my daughter almost nonstop. He absolutely loved playing. This particular cat cafe, all of these cats stay here. They're not up for adoption. They stay there. That's their home, right? But this does help take care of them, and as you can guess, having lots of cats gets very expensive, lots of vet bills. um, various other things, right? So the cafe does help them have a special place. So I just got some postcards, right? My daughter picked out some of them, of some of the kitties, right? The one Maine Coon, that's Romeo. He's huge. He's bigger than Nero ever was because he's full-blooded Maine Coon. He's not. Nero is only part Maine Coon. And then this one, he was so fluffy and cute. Augustus LeBlanc. His name is, well, they call him Gus. And then this one was called Mouse. And so cute. Right? Absolutely adorable kitties. I also got for my window this, I think I'm going to put this in my classroom in my window, but it's just a cat with some books, right? I got a little pin badge. It's got little flowers on it. And then I got a pair of earrings. Little kitty cat heads. My daughter got lots of things. She, with pet sitting, has earned her own money. And so she has been exercising the right to spend some of that money. Now, I do have some of it in savings for her, and she's not allowed to touch that. But she also has a portion of it that she can spend. And that's her free will to do so, right? We regularly look at her balance, and I let her know how much she has, so that she can weigh when she wants to make a purchase, right? Because she needs to understand that I'm not going to spend all of the money on her, right? But if she has her own money, she can make some of those purchases. Now, has she always been smart about some of those? Nope. But it's her money, right? So you have to learn through making some of those silly decisions that maybe we don't need to do that again. But there we go. But the Cat Cafe was wonderful. We also did, stuck to all of that metal. We also did a science museum while we were there. We got to do some virtual reality stuff, which was really cool. And then we did a really amazing thing. Being such a lover of animals and all animals, we often find ourselves in zoos and aquariums and nature parks. And there was an aquarium. It was a little ways away by train, I'm not gonna lie. But they had this really, really awesome opportunity where you could dive with sharks and stingrays and pufferfish. And when I tell you that my daughter was overjoyed at the prospect, she was a little scared, um, honestly, so was I, about putting, because I've never done, like, I've done snorkeling, but I've never done scuba diving ever in my life. It was the first time I've ever been scuba diving, okay? And her too, right? That gear was a lot. There were videos that we had to watch, like, we had homework to do this. And we really kind of, she was struggling a little bit. She was a little worried. But we went to a town called Skegness. I hope I'm saying that correctly. They had a seal sanctuary, and they also had the aquarium. We did the seal sanctuary first. We were going to do the aquarium first, but they changed our time on us, which kind of frustrated me a little bit because we did have to rush through the aquarium, because by the time we got done with the dive, there wasn't a lot of time to see the aquarium, and we didn't have a lot of time before to get there. But I will tell you that Skegness reminded me a lot of in Pinocchio, where they have that. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. It was right there. But they have that whole carnival island, right? Skegness reminded me a lot of that. There were a lot of rides and carnival things. It was very much like an Atlantic City sort of situation where you have all of these rides and all of this stuff, and on the other side of the street, because that was right by the ocean, um, you had all of these like casino places where you could do a lot of gambling and lots of bells and whistles and lights to attract you in, right? And you could play bingo. They had big signs where you could walk into those places, and then in the back they had bingo halls. And I can imagine it gets very, very busy. There was a store that I wanted to go in that while we were there, but once we finished with the seal sanctuary and the aquarium, by the time we got back, because the store was close to the train station, the store was closed. Um, because I guess during the week they're just not open late because maybe there's just not the people there. I definitely would have gone in. It was like a retro clothing store. It looked really, really cool. And I wanted to go in, but they were closed. So I was sad. But we did get a video of our shark dive. I did put it on my YouTube channel for family and friends to see, but it is marked private. That will never be a public video because my daughter is in it. Yes, it's difficult to determine who she is because we're in this giant scuba gear, but I'm never going to make that video public, right? It was super cool. If you want to check out the aquarium, they have videos of the aquarium and people diving in there, but my video will never be public. It's private. It's not for the general viewing population. But I did share it with family and friends, and the easiest way to do that, instead of sending them a great big file, is just put it on my channel, right? And I sent them the link, and they could watch it. It wasn't very long. It was like maybe 5 minutes, but it was cool. So, again, magnet, a magnet, and I got a pin. I don't know why I suddenly got obsessed with pins, but I bought a lot of them. There's still more coming, so... and we got to make keychains. So I made one, right? You got to pick your charms to go on it. And it's a shoelace, which I thought was cool. So it's knotted at the top. You put your charms on and your name, and then you knot it at the bottom, and there's your keychain. My daughter made one. I made one. It was neat. And then, towards the end of our trip, we went to a local park. And this was like, what was it called? The National Trust, I think it's called. Maybe it's a different kind of trust. I don't know. Anyway, the park, the grounds is run by this trust. So you can go in and walk around for free. But if you do any of the events, you have to pay for the event. That's how they do their fundraising, like keep it going, right? Because other places that I've been to that were like the trust places, you did have to pay to get in. But this place you didn't. It's just a big wide open park. They had lots of different areas where you could like feed the ducks. They had playgrounds. They had big open green spaces. It was really cool. But I found these. This is what I was talking about, my pin. Apparently I have a new obsession. These are mystery pouches of pins. Now, I do have pins from Disney, like pin badges from Disney. I have a lot of those. A lot of them are worth quite a bit of money. I don't have them with me. But I've never been like pin crazy. But apparently I wanted pins while I was in the UK. But they're mystery bags of pins. I bought 2 because there's 6 flower pins and 6 biscuit pins. But you don't know what you're going to get. I almost bought 3 of each just to see what would happen. But I can always ask my friend, or I can maybe go on the website and order more. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I thought I would open them with you. Okay? And we'll see. So these are the biscuits that you can get. right? And I thought we'd open them. Let's see. Okay. Well, we got 3. So I think the idea is that you get 3 different ones in the bag, but like this bag could be the exact same and I don't know that, right? But I got this one, and then the chocolate chip one. And I did not feel them to see if they were different. I should have. I just thought about that. I could like feel and see if they were, because they're different shapes, right? I didn't do that. All right, next one. Let's see what we got. Can you see? Okay, I've got the back. Can you see? Okay, well, I got 2 of the same ones and a different one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of the 6. Not bad. But now I want to collect them all. This is why I don't do this. That's why I don't do mystery. Because now I want all 6 of them. And I don't have all 6 of them. But I want them. Okay, so which ones do I not have? I don't have the custard cream, or I guess this is like a shortbread biscuit. So I don't have this one and I don't have this one. But you couldn't buy them separately. You had to buy the mystery pack. Guess I'm jumping on somebody's website. Okay, so now for the flowers. These are the 6 flowers that you can get. Let's see what we get. Okay, there's the back. I don't know what's the top and what's the bottom. Okay, so the sunflower. So we have this one, and this one. So we need these 3. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, that's the back. Ah, okay, again we have 4. We got this one. So we need the daisy and the rose. We don't have those 2. Okay. Now, for the yarn, right? That's some more of what's in this bag. Okay, so while I was with Sam, we did go to this place, the Craft Center in Bourne. Now, we wanted to go to one yarn shop, but that yarn shop was closed. The day that we went to Stratford upon Avon, it was closed for her to be on vacation, and it had just closed, so it was going to be closed for like a week. But the day before, this place had opened back up, and it had been closed for like 10 days for renovations. So the lady, Philippa, she is an absolute treasure. We spent so much time talking to her, so much time looking in her shop. And I have already shown this. That's why I'm not trying to like speed through this, because I've shown this in my lives. So if you've seen it in my lives, then you've already seen the yarn. But you didn't see all the other stuff I showed you, right? So the yarn is kind of like a tasty treat, but some of you have already seen it. So anyway, this was my present to Sam, because we decided not to send each other things for our birthday this year, because if you don't know, Sam and I have the same birthday, March 22nd. And we usually like send each other boxes. But I was like, we knew we were going to see each other. So I was like, if we're going to see each other, let's just do some shopping together. And I thought that's what we were going to do when she took me to Stratford upon Avon. I thought we were just going to yarn shops. No. I didn't know we were going to Stratford upon Avon. But I was like, okay, I really want to take you yarn shopping for your birthday present. And the place that I wanted to take her to, right, like I said, was closed. We found this place. Philippa, absolute treasure. You can look on her website, but she doesn't do online ordering. Everything that she does, you can pay by card, but she does all of her calculations by hand. Um, she doesn't do any shipping outside. Um, like there's no shit. Like you have to go in the store and buy the things. That's it. If you send somebody else into the store to buy the things for you and mail them to you, fine. She's not going to mail them to you. It was just it's not cost effective for her to do that. The amount that she would have to charge, the way that the postal system works, like trying to pick up packages, she would have to close her shop down because she runs the shop. She owns it, but she's also the sole worker. Um, so she would have to close the shop to take things to the post office because by the time the shop closes, the post office is closed. The price that they would charge to come pick up the packages from the shop is too much. She would have to pass that on to the buyer. She was like, it's just not worth it, right? So she just doesn't do it. So I did buy Sam's yarn for her. She has shown that already in a video. I have shown my yarn already, but I'm going to show it to you again. I have all of this yarn here. I did buy some more of the Spin, Spun, the Rico Rumi while I was at the store too. I have since used it all. I bought 2 more cakes of it. Some of it I gave away. Some of it I still have. But it's upstairs in its creation, which if you want to see that creation, you can see it on the 31st of August when I do my whips and faux for the summer. But I bought 2 of those. And then I bought all this. This is Knit Pro Symphony Terra. This is fingering weight yarn, 75% merino, 25% polyamide, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, 400 meters, 438 yards. Both the solid and the multicolor are the same. Okay, so this is Jaggerty, and this is Cabin in the Woods. Yes. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these and 2 of these. So I'm going to try again with fingering weight yarn to make myself a top. I want to do a raglan style top. I have not found the design yet, but I know that I want to do raglan. I love doing the top down. So you start with the neckline and you split off, like, so you start here and then you split off for the sleeves and then you go down and then you come back and add the sleeves. I like doing tops that way. I don't like doing panel because it's so many seams. I don't like doing it that way. I want to make the thing and then add the sleeve. So the only seam that I have is right here. And if you do it correctly, you won't even see that. I love doing it that way because then I'm just going in the round for my sleeves. There's no seam, right? I really like doing it that way. I prefer it that way. So I absolutely love these colors together. They are beautiful. I do have something else that I can add in if I want, but I don't have to. I have lots of yarn over there that I probably need to use. Because I keep buying fingering weight yarn and I want to use it. I do. Will it get on my nerves? Probably. But do I really, really want to make this top? Yes. So I'm going to find a raglan style pattern that I can use. And maybe, who knows, I'll fall in love with that pattern and use all of the other fingering weight yarn that I'm staring at that's right there on the floor to make more tops. Who knows? But this is hand-dyed yarn. You can... that's all, folks. You can machine wash. Do not tumble dry. You can iron. Do not dry clean. It's made in India. Okay, it says use a 2.25 to a 3.25 set of knitting needles. So that would probably be like a 3.5 hook-ish. right? But that's what we're working with. This is the yarn that I got in Philippa's shop. Again, so stunning. I am over the moon with it. I know that the yarn that Sam picked out for herself, she got some that was really, really Mamfa and some that was like, this is kind of new for Mamfa. But she loved it all the same. Now, I did get something for my daughter. I got her a diamond painting. She enjoys diamond painting. Not the giant ones because she can't really, pretty much. But I saw this and knew that she would absolutely love it. So I got it for her, and she spent a lot of time on it. And we're going to put it up in her room. It is actually a card. Like, you can actually, like, send it to someone. But whether we keep this or we just cut it and put it in a frame and put it in her room, that's what we're doing with it, right? But she was in love with this. She enjoyed doing it. I did put it in the envelope as protection because it was going to be traveling quite a ways, and I didn't want anything to like really scratch it or bump it or anything like that. So we kept it in here. But we're not going to send it to anyone. We're not going to do anything like that. She did have some other ones in here. So if you wanted to like find this company, it's Bree Marin. Breemerryn, Fine Art. But there's lots of different ones here. I almost bought the flamingo one for Sam because she would absolutely love it. And she likes to do diamond dots, but she said she didn't want it. And then I was going to get this one and do it for Moo. But they didn't have this one. They only had this one. She had a picture of this one, but she didn't have it. So I didn't get it. Anyway, I have a little bit more yarn to show you because after all of that, I ended up going to the yarn shop that I had gone to before, which let me find it here. I have been there before, and it's in a town called Stamford. And it's the Ewe Wool Shop, E-W-E, right? I've done a video on it before. I went in looking for just something that I didn't have, right? That was the idea. And I found it. And it happened to be on sale. And I bought all of it that she had left. Because I want to make myself some fingerless gloves out of these. And I also bought my daughter some yarn that I made fingerless gloves out of. I've actually already made the gloves for her. Where did I put that yarn? I think it's over here. Let me find it. So if you want to see the Ewe Wool Shop, you can go back and look at my video that I did last year for that one. Okay, I don't know where that yarn went, but I bought, it's not in here. Okay. It was, one of them was like West Yorkshire Spinners, I think. One of them was Stylecraft DK. No, it wasn't West Yorkshire Spinners. What was it that I bought? I don't remember. It was like a rainbow yarn. The other one was Stylecraft DK in this like lime green color. I don't think I took a picture. I took a picture of the fingerless gloves that I made, but I made those in the States. Let me see. Did I take a picture of? I did not. Okay, I didn't take a picture of the yarn like I did with the other one, but I'll show you the fingerless gloves that I made. So this is one set, right, that I made for her. And this was yarn I bought at the Ewe Wool Shop. And then the other set that I made, I don't have a picture of that set by itself, but it is this green set, this lime green set here. So I made 2 of these and 2 of these, and she wears them like this, separate like that. And she absolutely loves them. But she wanted 1 and 1, and I was like, I'm just going to make you a pair. Because 1, I can just use more of the yarn. And 2, you can mix and match however you like. I don't really care. But then you have 2 sets. Right? So one of them you're inevitably going to wear out, and then you're going to want another pair. Well, now you already have it. So I bought the yarn when I was at the Ewe Wool Shop, but I made them when I was in the States. And it's literally just, I measured how far I needed to go down, half double crochet in the back loop only, all the way around, seamed it up, stopped for the thumb, seamed it up, did a round of single crochet around the top to make it nice and like look finished off, done. I didn't make it fancy. I didn't make anything crazy. I do still have the purple and black. I have not made fingerless gloves out of that. That was another goal that I was supposed to use that yarn to do. I brought it with me. I bought it last year when I was in the States. Brought it with me this year to the States. Never used it. I do want to use it. I do want to make myself some gloves out of it and her some gloves out of it. And I will. I just didn't. Now, with the Rowan that I also got this. This is called Pebble Island. It's made with Falkland Island wool. Yeah. So this was on sale. It's discontinued. I don't think Rowan even makes it anymore. So I just bought everything that she had because it was on sale. There were 3 of this color, which is, I don't know what color this is. Marble. 3 in marble. And they're all 50 grams. They are about 108 meters, 118 yards. It doesn't say if it's 100% Falkland wool. It says made with Falkland wool and then says it's 100% wool. So I don't know if it's 100% Falkland wool or partly Falkland wool. It doesn't say. But, so I have 3 in the color marble, okay, which is a nice taupey brownish color. And then 1 in elephant, which is like a very nice steely kind of blue. And then this one is in Stanley, which is more of like a cadet style blue. But I thought they went really well together. And I'm going to do like a stripy sort of fingerless glove situation. Or maybe a cowl. I don't know that I have enough to do a cowl. But that was my plan when I bought this. And that's the yarn that I bought. So, quite a long video, but that is my England haul. I don't know how I'm going to title this video. We'll see what happens. I'm not throwing this on the ground. I am throwing it in a bag. That's right here. And that's kind of it. So, I will be back for, like I said, the stuff that I bought in the States. I will do a video on that. I am going to do this week I have 2 pre-recorded videos left from the summer that I didn't put up. So I'm going to do one of those this week and probably another one next week just to kind of use those videos because in them I do talk about them being pre-recorded and I don't want to like have them out super, super long, right? So I will get those up to you And with that, I'm going to let you go. Um, until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!